Hey everyone, hope you're all having a good Saturday. Well, I am actually working here on the Allis-Chalmers 185. There we go. And I'm working back here on the 3-point. Sure enough, this cylinder right here that raises the arms up and down, you got one right there, and well, you can kind of see it right there in that shadow, one right there. And of course, right there is where you can put the middle 3-point arm on. And so we don't use the 3-point on this tractor a lot, other than well, for like we have a little 4-bottom plow, and Dad would use that to plow his garden every year. And other than that, that's about the most this 3-point gets used. But anyway, as you can see, I got this pin out right here. This cylinder is wanting to leak. And when he had it on the plow, plowing his garden, no, it was just pushing oil right here around this seal, right there on the end of it. And so I'm trying to work on getting it taken off. However, I'm not too sure how well you can see it. You'll be able to see it on the camera. Get my light. As you can see, that right there, that pin came out pretty easy. However, it's that back one back there that you can't even get to. And so once I got digging around underneath here, okay, I've got to get down lower that way I can see it. All right, had to get down on my creeper that way I could shoot up from the bottom. Anyway, there we go. You can see I got that ratchet. There's a bolt head right there. In fact, you can see the bolt that the ratchet is on, and then a bolt right straight above that. The way it looks, about the only way to get that cylinder on, or off actually, don't you just love work lights? They always fall on top of you and drop out of place. Is to take these 2 bolts out and take this whole entire cast bracket off, because the end of that pin is, well, right there you can see that back wall, but right through there, and so you can't even get to it. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I don't know how well it's going to work or if it's going to work. I guess we'll find out. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see sitting in my Carhartt pocket, but I guess we'll find out. Acts like that light has a loose connection. It's kind of flickering a little bit. And I can hear a little bit of a buzz inside of it, which might be typical for a fluorescent light. Oh boy, that bolt is tight. Well, that is not breaking it loose. even with that big breaker bar. I'm rocking the tractor back and forth. Like you see, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but you can see up inside there, get around that hydraulic line, kind of right down through there. That is the other end of that pin. There's no way to get to it. And looking down from the top, I'm not too sure how well you can see that down there. You can see that little, what looks like, no, not a cotter key, but one of those little clip pins, like what you can put into a hitch pin, going through the end of that pin right there, holding it in place, I'm guessing. But like I say, I can put my finger on top of it. I can get just a little bit of movement out of it. Let me see if, well, it's hard to work one-handed and hold my camera, so we'll put you back into my holder for now anyway. Let me see. That's actually the first time I've tried wiggling that. And I can get a little bit of movement out of that clip pin. I don't know if I can get that little pin popped up and out of there. Thing is though, just getting that little pin out's not going to do the trick. You gotta get that little clip out and then get that big pin out, which is the fun job. In fact, there's actually a local mechanic. If it wasn't Saturday, I'd give him a quick call and talk to him and ask him if he had any ideas. However, well, take that back. Here several years ago, up until here a few years back, he was open on Saturdays, but now he's actually getting close to retirement age. In fact, he might actually be retirement age. And so I think he's actually kind of slowed down some, and I don't think he's open on Saturday mornings anyway. Well, hey, I got that pin to jump. Oh, there it is. That little clip pin. Like I say, I can feel it down in there, but it feels like that pin is actually stuck in there. You can't budge it. Of course, the tractor's a 1975, I think. My grandpa bought it brand new. Well, hey, you know what? That pin moved. Huh. Well, at least a little bit anyway. That's a shock. And I was going to get some, I forgot to bring it over from the other shed. Get some of that penetrating oil to shoot down in there and soak that up good. I don't know what you all like using. I actually like using that Seafoam Deep Creep. So far, that's always been, that's been the best penetrating oil that I have ever found. I don't like it. Stupid work light's never where you want it. Well, hey, all that oil soaking it up good. There's the pin. Huh. Because when I checked it earlier, I couldn't get it to budge. I was actually wiggling up and down on the arms themselves, and I couldn't get any movement back here. I just figured that pin was seized up in that in those ear holes of the cylinder. Okay, well, let's see here. The only thing holding it is that hydraulic hose. And I gotta take that thing off. Oh! Kind of a tight squeeze underneath there. Let me grab this old. There shouldn't be a lot of oil come flying out of that, but I'll grab this old oil bucket here. I usually keep this sitting here underneath my old WD. It has a tendency to want to ooze just a little bit of oil out of the PTO. And so we'll put this bucket here underneath this arm to catch any leak coming out of that hydraulic line. But there's a hydraulic place. Let's see here. If you know where Monticello, Indiana is at, it's southwest of Monticello, called Stars Incorporated. And I forget, the word stars, it stands for something. Each letter stands for something, and it spells out stars. Something like system, troubleshooting, automated, something, if I remember right. But like I say, it's southwest of Monticello, just north of Brookston, Indiana. And we've done business with them for a long time. And they've always done, when it comes to hydraulic cylinders, they have always done a really good job, and they know their stuff, they know what they're doing, and I've always had good luck with them. Uh-oh, that's more than a 3/4. I have to grab a bigger wrench. Must be about like a 13/16 or a 7/8. Well, I guess I should have just turned around and grabbed the 15/16 to begin with and tried it. Because that's what it is, 15. Oh boy. Okay, there we are. And in theory, once I take this line off, it should let me restate that. When I take this line off, I should be able to start the tractor and run it and not have oil blasting everywhere, because with the cylinder lever or the 3-point lever forward into float, it's not going to be putting any pressure on this, well, on that part of the hydraulic valve stack. Supposedly. We'll wait and see. That thing's got a mile-long thread, can't get it off. And I got to kind of hold the cylinder up a little bit, otherwise it'll bind and you can't spin that little junction, that swivel. Well, so far we're still not off. I mean, now if you want to pull a good prank on someone who doesn't know much, you can tell them to try and tighten a swivel. They'll be sitting there for the next year spinning it round and round. There we are, finally. Okay, the line is off. That little cylinder's got some weight to it, I can tell you that much. Wow. Oh boy. But there it is. In fact, it almost looks like a cylinder off of a off the throat of a combine, because that's basically how a combine throat cylinder is set up. Got your pin down here, your pin up here on this end that actually hooks onto the throat. Back here on the combine, it hooks onto the lower part of the front axle. You got your one hydraulic hookup, and yeah, only just not near as big. That one looks like it's got probably about a, I don't know, maybe about a 6 or 7 inch, 8 inch at the very most, stroke to it. And so it's not a real long cylinder. Okay, that hose over there is still dripping oil. Not much, it's kind of slowing down. But that hydraulic place, they're shut down today. But if it works out, either me or I'll see if Dad's gonna make a quick run to town. I don't know. But we'll get this cylinder run over to them probably first thing Monday morning. And of course, it'll take them a little while, probably about a week or so roughly to get to it. Depending on how busy they are. But I'm guessing it's just the seals inside there are what's finally gone bad. But hey, after, well, 40 plus years, you can't expect it to last forever. Okay, well, the hydraulic hose has stopped dripping. And here, I'll just take and show you right quick. You can see that tight spot. In fact, I'll take the air gun, blow that all out back in there. But you can see that tight spot right there where you got to get back in there to that pin. And right there's that cutout notch. And so when I go to put the little pin back through this hole, I've got to try and get that clip key hole right there lined up. That way I can push the little clip key back down into it. And so, but yeah, that's doing a little bit of maintenance work on the old 185. In fact, this used to be Dad and Grandpa's one of their main tractors. I think they pulled a, let's see here, I think it was an 18-foot disc with it. In fact, we actually still have the duals for it laying around. We never put them on. But yeah, they used to pull an 18-foot disc with this thing. And this one here, most of these 185s, if I remember correctly, from the factory, they did not come out with a turbo on them, but having a turbo added was an option, and that's what Grandpa had put on this one here. You can't really see it too well, but that's what these two lines are. That's your oil lines going up to the turbo. And so I think factory rated, these were at about, right at about 85 horsepower. And seems like Dad told me when they put that turbo on the thing, I don't know if I don't know if somebody put it on a dyno to check the horsepower of it, but I think Dad said it was running right around about 95, and so that added about 10 more horse to it. But yeah, like I say, other than that though, it's a good little utility tractor. We use it for cutting and mowing our hay, and pulling the mowing machine, the hay rake, that kind of stuff. And so yeah, that's the 185, still running good. And so I'll get that cylinder rebuilt and put back on. That should have it. Take care. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Thanks a lot.